Coach's Corner is presented by Roanoke Valley Harley-Davidson. Stop by their store on Peters Creek Road for new and used motorcycles, service and repair, along with Harley-Davidson clothing and collectibles.
Hello and welcome in to another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Mitch, Stewart, and this morning I'm joined by Rail Dawgs head coach Dan Bremner. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, you got it, Mitch.
So let's take a look back at last week. You guys had a game against Huntsville on Wednesday night, and then got first place Fayetteville in here on Friday. Wednesday was a game that was kind of similar to some of those last ones where you guys put in a good performance. The result just kind of didn't follow, but you guys bounced back with a big result, getting that 4-2 win against Fayetteville on Friday night. When you have a couple of those games in a row where maybe the performance is there on the ice, but the result isn't following, and then you're able to come back and get a big confidence booster like that win against Fayetteville, what does it kind of do for your locker room and for your group?
Well, first, the performance is there, but it's been spotty. You think of the weekend through Peoria. I thought Friday night's game, no team wanted to win that game. It was whoever won was going to least wanted to lose, I suppose. But it was an ugly game. We went into Saturday, played a pretty good game Saturday, but we still gave up a ton of odd man rushes, and it's something that has been an issue to this point in the year. Played Huntsville and very similar. Played a pretty good game in spurts. We dominated, but then again we were giving odd man rushes up and down the ice. We don't want to be a run and gun team. We don't want to trade 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. We want to be a team that kind of controls the play. Shut down team, and then when we get our opportunities on those odd man rushes, we take advantage. And I thought that's kind of what we did on Friday there against Fayetteville. Much better job, I thought, through two periods. They maybe had 2 or 3 odd man rushes, which was down quite a bit from previous games, and then did a great job in the third there, kind of shutting it down the rest of the way, even when we were facing a 6-on-4 for an extended time there as well.
So Marson Kix was a player I thought that really stood out over these past couple of games for the Rail Dawgs. We've been able to see his speed, and we know that we've seen his flash of talent through his first year plus here with the Rail Dawgs, but what is it about his game that you've seen maybe in these past few that has made him so hard to neutralize for opponents?
I mean, kind of similar to last year. I mean, he's definitely starting way ahead of where he started last year, but it took him some time to get on the board last year too, and I think it's just kind of understanding that he doesn't have to continue to beat everybody. There's shots, like you think of his first goal, it was just like, get the puck, make a move, shoot the puck, and it was actually a bit of a whiff, and it ended up going in. And sometimes when you get a lot of chances like he's been getting, sometimes you need one just to kind of go in like that, and then more will flow, and he got one the next night as well. So for him, like you said, dynamic speed, he's got good heads up, he's pretty creative. As long as he stays focused on getting pucks to net, making sure that he's on the D side when he needs to be, you let Dom kind of do his thing out there.
Tyler Roy had a really strong showing on Friday night against Fayetteville, ends up with 29 saves and that win for the Rail Dawgs. So now you've got Tyler Roy performing very well. You've got President's Cup MVP Austin Rodebush, who's currently sidelined with an injury at the moment. Then you got Brody Clays, who has a ton of experience both in this league and in the ECHL as well. How crucial is it to kind of have that many options that you could feel confident in between the pipes throughout this season?
Yeah, it's awesome. And I think, T-Roy getting his first opportunity on Friday night there might have played into a bit of our team playing more towards our identity and shutting down those odd man rushes. We want to play well for him. At the same time, yeah, he made some big saves, and he's actually had a great start to his pro career. I think currently right now he's actually undefeated in pro between here and some games with the Columbus River Dragons. So really pumped for him, and we're just going to take it kind of day by day, but it's awesome having that confidence no matter who we're putting in. We know we're going to have a chance to win with one of those guys in there.
We talked about it briefly in one of our pregame interviews last week, but Nick Ford and CJ Stubs, we know that their production has been at a really high level for the past couple of seasons for the Rail Dawgs, but now they get the A's on their chest as assistant captains for away games for the Rail Dawgs. What has it kind of been like for you to kind of see their growth as leaders, and what kind of led to that decision for you to give them that deserved recognition?
Yeah, honestly, it's that's more of a formality. I think everybody in that locker room views them as a couple leaders. I know that it's been awesome to watch Stubs. I've worked with Stubs for a longer period of time. It's been awesome to see him kind of evolve into the leader that he is and become a bit more vocal here and there. He's never going to be the loudest or the first voice and last voice in the room, but he speaks up more and more. And through experience, and I think guys, when they see somebody that's been around producing the way that him and Ford have, and then they have things to say, the boys listen to them. So, like I said, it was more of a formality. Guys that deserve it like that, I think they deserve the recognition to publicly. Nothing that they needed. They're going to continue doing the same things that they do, but it's nice to get that recognition.
you guys make your last trip to the Midwest of the regular season. You go take on the Evansville Thunderbolts this weekend in Indiana. Evansville's went off to a bit of a tough start themselves in the standings, but what are you looking for from your group as you go play there in a weekend doubleheader on Friday and Saturday night?
Yeah, and again, our messaging is going to be that it's still about us. It's early enough in the season. After these 2 games, it'll mark the quarter point through the year. But we have to continue developing doubling down on our identity, making sure that we're shutting down odd man rushes, making sure we're controlling the flow of game, we're dominating ozone possession time. As far as Evansville, you may say slow start, had a big win their last game, so they're coming in with a little bit of a confidence boost. So, we can't expect to take them lightly.
So that's going to do it for us today, Dan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Mitch.
That's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner. The Rail Yard Dogs on the road the next 2 weeks, starting this weekend against the Evansville Thunderbolts on Friday and Saturday night. You can find it on the Haley Toyota Rail Yard Dogs Hockey Network. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.